Hello and welcome back, everybody, to the Full 40. Happy preseason, happy off season. It's been a bit since we've seen everybody here. How we doing, fellas? Brian, Tommy, how are we?
Medium.
Medium? Okay, that's good.
I like that. I'm doing well, Billy. Thanks for asking.
Oh, I mean, it's been a bit. I think we like last spoke after the Willard hire, and then I think we all just kind of, as a group, just went in a hole and like, I don't know what's going on. We'll deal with this when we come back up. And this is us dealing with it right now.
Did we do a show after the Willard hire? Or did we do it? That's
We
what I
never-
thought. It was like maybe the week before.
Yeah.
It seemed like it was going that way, but okay.
Yeah. And we did.
Well, I know we didn't do the 40s because we felt that no awards should have been given, so we didn't forget.
So
Yes.
here we are.
Yes.
Here we are. Just to give everybody who's listening in just a little bit of background. We're figuring out this season. It's going to be a fun season. I'm deciding I'm doing this at the top, and I'll do it at the end as well. Chris and Trevor both will be in and out. Tommy will be in and out. Chris Notaro will probably be in and out. We're going to have a rotating host of people. I will probably be here most of the time, but like, who knows what's going to happen? We're having a good time right now. But we're going to have a nice little rotation of people. But it's been a weird off season, you know? And by weird off season, it's just, you know, that episode of Fresh Prince when, you know what exactly like the Fresh Prince episode where the house is completely empty. That's how it all feels like. We're like that, except the next episode, instead of it being an episode of Fresh Prince, it's an episode of Modern Family, and Will Smith is still in the middle of it. And so you're like, this is a different show now.
Unfamiliar.
It could still be a fantastic show, but who the hell are these people? And so that's what today's going to be about. Today's going to be figuring out about who the hell are these people. And to start this off, I downloaded a little bit of something to get us started on this section that I'm calling.
Oh, hi. Wait a minute. Who are you?
What's that video's origin?
It's some random meme from like it's a random video from like the 80s or whatever that like became a meme like 6 years ago, and it lives rent free in my head. And so when I was sitting here over the last couple of weeks thinking about like what we're going to do in this episode, I was like, I'm going to start this off with, wait a minute, who are you? And that's what we got to figure out. Who is this team? So we're going to talk through the coaching staff. We'll talk through the players. We'll talk through some games. But let's just get into this. So we're going to start at the coaching staff. We'll start at the head of the snake, Kevin Willard. We all know who he is. We're all familiar with him, seeing him around. I'm actually very happy what we saw in the offseason of like keeping most of the traditions. Felt like it was still done. Summer Jam was still more or less the same. Players came back. There was still the golf outing. So we saw a little bit of that. He's done, from what I can tell, a pretty decent job of pulling in some of the alumni still and keeping things still rolling. Tommy, Brian, how are you feeling about Kevin Willard?
Tommy, you can go first.
Yeah, well, it's weird, right? The growing up watching Kevin Willard, and when I was in high school, when I was in the early years of college at Seton Hall, and then in Maryland, is growing up seeing somebody on the other end of the bench that you really dislike seeing. When he was at Seton Hall, those Angel Delgado teams, those Miles Powell teams that are always a thorn in Villanova's side. It's weird that he's on our side of the bench now, but I think it's a good thing. This is a guy that's been in and around the Big East. He knows what it takes to win in the Big East. He's got a couple wins in March as well. Just had a successful season over at Maryland. So it's definitely going to take some getting used to. But overall, I'm very excited about the hire.
Yeah, I mean, he's fresh off a Sweet 16. Like, he's going to keep that momentum running. Elite Eight, baby. I'm calling it now. That's my start. That's my start to the season. Elite Eight.
Anything less?
I watched the least amount of college basketball of everybody on the show, but I also knew who Kevin Willard was. I knew he was like kind of one of the crybaby ref coaches for a while, but Seton Hall, like Tommy said, was always a tough out. He was definitely, I think, probably the premier coach. And I think Villanova got their first choice, which I'm happy about. I don't know that he'll be a good coach, but I'm also not educated enough. I don't know enough about him to really be that confident in that. But I like that the program got the person they wanted. They didn't go into the coaching search and have to settle or kind of wing it. So I'm happy in that case that, it's a new AD. But obviously, I think we heard Jay Wright was involved a little bit. Some of the board members involved a little bit. And I like how they handled it. It was annoying at the time to kind of like hear about these leaks that weren't real. But at the same time, I think the process was done really well. They kept their cards close to their vests. Any of the real leaks, none came from the Villanova side. So I think it's off to a good start.
Yeah, I think that's accurate. I mean, I think about the Willard hire, and I think after the last 3 seasons, we needed just stability and going back into what we think should be the right direction as a program. Whether or not we reach the heights that we've had of the past, I'm pretty confident that we're going to see similar. We're going to be moving in the right direction now. So I'm excited for Willard. I'm excited for some Willard ball. I think we're going to see us play a little bit more like we've seen some of the Seton Hall teams in the past play, which similarly enough, like there's going to be a high kind of, I'm not to say high floor, but like kind of higher floor. We might not have the ceiling that we've had in the past, but this is also a brand new concoction of people and of players. So in terms of predictions, like for what the season looks like, which I'm not going to give one because I have genuinely no clue. Like none of these kids have played with each other except for Malcolm Flags and Duke Brennan. None of those two have played with each other ever before. Obviously, we've had a couple of scrimmages. They've been playing with each other for the entire summer, so they're not starting from net zero. But for us, for all intents and purposes, we don't know what this is going to look like. We know what Kevin Willard looks like. We know what his game is. I'm excited to see this. He's brought in his assistant coaching staff, which just doing a quick run through, I think everybody except for Ashley Howard came with him from Maryland. Yeah. I'm trying to see if there's anybody that I missed that isn't from Maryland, but I think everybody followed with him from the Maryland staff, which is normal for a college coach to do. That's not like out of the ordinary here where you bring basically your entire staff over. Yeah, everyone I'm seeing of the staff except for Howard is from of the basketball specific staff is from Maryland, except for Ashley Howard, which makes sense. You take what you've done here, you take one person from the new program that you're going to who still knows how things runs and everything like that and has it there. I don't have any like detail on who Brenton Petty is, but I like to see the consistency. At least Willard's keep taking a staff that's followed with him, has been with him for the last, when he's at Maryland, like 2021, so 3 to 4 seasons, and we can start building from there.
Yeah, one of the coaches.
One thing I'm interested in.
Go ahead, Brian.
You go. I was going to say one thing that I'm interested to see, and it was hard to see it with Kyle and Baker, is how we're going to differentiate between the GM and the coach. Kyle and Baker were kind of just grouped together since they were both Jay Wright assistants, and I don't think the program will tell us what's different and who kind of is in charge of what. But Kevin, Will, and Baker, didn't really have a history of working together, and I'd be interested to see. One of the issues I had when the GM was announced was they specifically said the GM reports directly to the AD, basketball coach reports directly to the AD. So it's a weird, there's not really like the normal chain of command. And I think this will be the year where we'll kind of see, is the GM specifically in charge of future recruiting? Are they in charge of the NIL stuff? Just curious to see how 2 guys who haven't worked together kind of work this out, or maybe they don't.
Yeah, for sure.
The biggest mute you've ever seen in your life, Tommy.
I literally unplugged my mic, so I'll work on that after this spiel. We're kind of going off that with the recruiting and everything like that. The overarching thing that I'm excited for, Kevin Willard's always been a good recruiter. He's got the guys, the Angel Delgados, Miles Powell, even last year, Derek Queen down in Maryland. And now he's at Villanova, and he has better resources, reportedly, than he had at Maryland. So I'm excited to see that dynamic and how that will play out. Another one of the assistant coaches that I'm excited for is David Cox off of the bench. He was on URI staff, Dan Hurley's URI staff. He spent time as a head coach down in Washington, D.C. He spent time down in Georgetown staff. And Villanova over the years has had kind of a stranglehold on some of the top recruits in the DMV, and Cox is known as a good recruiter. So I'm excited to see his impact in kind of securing that down again and bringing Villanova to where it once was with the recruits down there in the DMV.
This is just as an aside. Have we been involved with anybody from recruiting yet this year? I haven't. I think I just actually saw something that got tagged to the account right before we went live, but we haven't brought any recruits in yet. But I don't know if we're in any top 3s or top 5s, if there's anything that we've seen.
We were in the top 8 for the kid that went to Archbishop Carroll last year, but I think he's going to one of the like charter schools or something in Missouri.
Okay.
He was the top player in Pennsylvania. He just committed to Gonzaga, but he had Villanova. I think it was a top 8, but he just made his decision 2 days ago.
Okay, I missed that.
I can't say I saw any buzz before it. I never heard of the kid before it, but that was so far that's the only recruiting miss.
Yeah, we're striking out a bit in the class of 2026 so far. One of our targets, I think, is a top 4 or top 6. Alex Eggnanu is committing later this week. He's a 4-star recruit, which I'm pretty excited about. It looks like a long shot for Villanova. We missed out on both Chase Foster and Luca Foster. Luca Foster, the one from Wayne, Pennsylvania. I believe he's going to Gonzaga. So that's been tough. It's tough to kind of pitch it to these 2026 kids, especially the guards when we'll get into the roster later, but the backcourt is going to be a big positive for this Villanova team, especially early on. So some of those are understandable. Adam Odomomich, I am butchering these names horribly. I apologize to these kids. Is another target for Villanova, but we have no recruits in the class of 2026, but we have an extremely young team. So it's unfortunate, but it's not a concern at this point, I don't think.
Can y'all hear me? All right, cool. I realized I did not have my mic in at all. Yeah, no, that makes complete sense. I think where I stand is kind of where you at, Tommy, I'm not really too worried about it yet, but it's been something all off season. I've been like, I haven't seen any recruits coming in committing, which also makes sense. They haven't seen the product on the floor. But I think this is actually a good time for us to switch over to the conversation about the team because, Tommy, as you brought up, there are a lot of guards on this roster, and that's going to be its point of strength for this team. And some guards may wait to see what happens with the rest of this roster as we go through the season. So let's get into it. Who are these people? Who are the new guards? Who is the new Villanova or the new Villanova Wildcats? In terms of how we want to do this, do we want to just go down the men's basketball roster and just like talk about each player from 0 to whatever the highest number is? 55.
Yeah.
All right, let's get into it.
Save the best for last.
Yeah, we'll save the best for last. All right, so getting into it, we're going to start with number 0, Chris Jeffrey, a freshman from Brooklyn, New York, out of Mount Zion Prep. So Chris Jeffrey, and for all intents and purposes, was very talented. Started at, I believe, Texas A&M. Didn't see much time on the floor. And sorry, did I make that up with Texas A&M?
You're thinking of Bryce Lindsey.
I'm thinking of Lindsey. Wow, thank you. Jeffrey was committed to Maryland. That's what it was, and then came over as well. He's really just a powerful like combo guard. He's going to do pretty good, I think, like long term. He's already making plays on the floor, just kind of like connecting pieces, like being a connecting role player. I think that's what we see out of him this freshman year. Decent ball handler, but I mean, he's like 6'3", 205, 200, 210. So real bulky. When he gets his shoulders past somebody, he's going to be able to go finish at the rim pretty well. I'm excited. He's kind of defensively like just kind of a dog. And he's a freshman, so he's going to be exploited at times by older and more like versatile guards. But I'm excited for him. He's probably one of my like favorite players that we've pulled in just because I can see the mold of what he can become. And I'm excited to see how he continues to grow down this path.
Yeah, this was a kid that was recruited heavily by Villanova out of high school. He ended up going to Maryland with Kevin Willard and now transferring, I guess, back over to Villanova before his first collegiate start. But yeah, I mean, you brought it up. This kid's built like a linebacker. I don't know if you guys have seen him, if you watched the game versus UVA or if you've seen any of his highlight film. mean, this kid's jacked. He looks like he's a super senior already, just the way he's physically built. Not his game per se, but the way that he plays, he can get downhill. There's 2 Swiss Army knives in this backcourt, and he's definitely one of them. I'm extremely excited for Chris Jeffrey, not only this year, but as a building block for this team down the road too.
Yeah, I completely agree. I mean, he's going to be on both ends of the floor, just to be irrational and help people feel excited. I once thought of a player who there was a guard, very athletic, very strong. I was like, oh, when the first time I watched him play, I was like, oh, he's built like a linebacker. His name was Anthony Edwards. I'm kidding. This guy's not going to be Anthony Edwards, but just wanted to start really get people really excited now. But I'm really excited for Chris Jeffrey. And yeah, to the point, what you said, Tommy, like, I think we'll see positive stuff this year, and then down the like year 2, year 3, I think that's where we're really going to see him shine, hopefully.
Yeah,
I like the number 0, so
can't complain about that.
And just so it's clear, 0 is 0, 00 is number 100. Not a lot of people know that.
Is that actually what it means? I literally did not know that.
I also did not know that.
I don't know why.
Cool.
Yeah, well, yeah.
All right.
Ball now.
All right, so moving on to Zion Stanford, number 1, Temple transfer. Zion Stanford at Temple averaged 13 points last year, 4.5 rebounds, 2 assists, on pretty decent shooting splits, 45, 35, and 71. He's kind of like, we have him listed as a guard. I think of him more as a 3 or 4. Like, that's where I think that he's going to be like playing the most for us, especially because we have a lot of guards. Now, being a 3 or 4 and having guard-like skills, there's nothing to complain about there. That's a fantastic thing. He's big, he's physical. He's going to post up a lot. I'm really excited for him. The thing with him is I think he hurt his ankle and is going to be out till at least December. From what at least what they said on the broadcast that's what I gathered. Yeah, I'm excited for him when he hits the floor. I am kind of the one thing I am a little bit confused about and not worried is an ankle injury is never fun. Getting back from an ankle injury, you're coming back in the middle of, let's just say, before Big East play starts. If it's December, like right before Big East play starts, how does he fit back into a team that is hopefully gelling at that stage that he's kind of never really played with in that full swing?
Yeah, for sure. And this is a true Philly guard. West Catholic. He's gotten better at every step of his basketball journey. He's a proficient scorer. He scored in double figures 20 times, 6 20-point games in his career at Temple. And he really finished the last part of his season strong over at Temple. Will, you took my point perfectly. It's going to be tough for him to come back when this team's gearing up for Big East play because of, they're going to be gelling the entire non-con. So it's going to be tough to come back into that and be a rotational piece. But he's only a sophomore, so I'm excited. Or he's a junior. I'm sorry, he was a sophomore last year, incoming junior. So he'll be back for his senior year as well. The big theme that I'm going to go with here is, again, this is a guy that can definitely contribute. To what extent, I'm not sure this year, but later on, I think Zion Stanford could be a key piece for this team.
Brian, do you have anything to say about him being Benedict Arnold to Temple?
Well, as a Temple graduate myself, I'm going to support him more than I support other players. Not a lot more, but
yeah, that's fair.
There'll be a difference.
The Temple difference. I got you.
Yeah. The Benedict Arnold thing's great, though, just for anybody who missed it. Last year, Dana O'Neill mixed up 2 historical Benedict Arnolds who grew up about 150 years apart, and it really bothered me. And I sent something to our chat. No one else knew that there were 2 Benedict Arnolds, and that's fine. And I've tweeted at her a bunch of asking her if she knew there were 2 because her tweet didn't make any sense, and obviously it was ignored. But just, the more you know.
Yeah. It's fun facts with Brian, everybody. All right, so let's move on to number 2. Bryce Lindsey, redshirt sophomore from Baltimore, Maryland. This is my guy on the team. Bryce Lindsey's my favorite player on the team. He was coming into it. I'm the most excited about him. he is a Baltimore guard. He's a bulldog. He is like a hard-nosed combo guard that has like a lot of offensive juice to him. He averaged at JMU, he averaged, I think, 13.4 points per game. He shot 45% from the field. He's got a strong basketball IQ. He is tenacious defensively. Like, I really think he gets after it. I think he's a winner. He came out of the big program in Florida, IMG. I think he started off somewhere else, but eventually went to IMG. If you go through IMG, there is a level of like coaching and skill and development that you end up getting. And he didn't really see the floor much at Texas A&M. I think he like actually played in like a couple of games, and then ended up redshirting, went to James Madison, popped off, was freshman of the year and sixth man of the year in the Sun Belt. And like, I am really, really excited from him. He can score the ball really, really well. I think like long term, like this is my guy. This is my guy. Like for the team, I'm excited to see what who he becomes for us. Was out the Virginia scrimmage. I don't think it's for a long term thing. I think it may have just been like
he was sick.
Sick. Okay, yeah. So like he should be fine. And then he's just like, there's playmaking. I'm really excited for Bryce Lindsey. I think he's a person that, like, for me, this is my guy to watch for the season.
Yeah, I love that. I mean, this is a guy that can come in and he can shoot the cover off the ball. I mean, you took a lot of my talking points. I'm excited for Bryce Lindsey too. He's just going to be another one of these guards in this deep backcourt. I mean, depth is the biggest thing for this Villanova team this year, right? I mean, we have 4 guys that we'll get into later, but he's definitely we don't have a lot of spark plugs on the offensive end, is what I'll say. He's definitely a guy that can come in and that we haven't had in the past couple of years. And we talked about it in the open too. These guys have never played together. Fun fact: Bryce Lindsey and Braden Pierce, another guy we'll get into later, teammates at IMG Academy.
Oh, okay, there we go.
Down in Florida. So, little fun nugget. Ryan, anything about IMG Academy?
It's in Florida, and it started out as a tennis-only school for about 25 years. So it's not a new school like people think.
I did know it started off as a tennis-only school.
And it was given, I want to say it was CAA who funded it, one of the large agencies, Hollywood agencies, also has a sports arm, but it might be a different one. But I believe CAA is the one who kind of funded it to become the sports factory. And a large majority of the students pay a high tuition, so it's not just a free ride school as some people think. I think tuition's like $65,000, and like 80% of the students pay full.
Wow.
I actually didn't know that one. I would have assumed everybody went for free.
Yeah.
Like, I would have just assumed everybody went for free. All right, so moving on to number 4, our only returner who's played like true minutes, Tyler Perkins. Tyler Perkins, we all know, we've seen him play before. Versatile. He saw time at the wing. He can get after it defensively. He can shoot. He made himself like a very valuable 6-man role player for us. I think my question, and Tommy, I'm going to ask you this one here, is just like, what do we expect from Perkins? Do we see a leap from him, or do we just expect more of the same? Which, to be fair, was valuable. Like, it wasn't valuable. If he does exactly what he did last year, that's fine, as long as other people take the leap. So what do we think?
I think, there's going to be some improvement from Tyler Perkins. He was at the end of the year playing his best basketball. He hit that game winner against St. John's, and then he was our best player in Brian's favorite tournament, the college basketball crown.
Yep.
So this is a guy that's going to come in, and we only have a couple of, as crazy as it sounds, juniors and seniors, upperclassmen, and this is someone who's been ingratiated into the Villanova way, even though that's been turned upside down. Shout out to your Fresh Prince of Bel-Air reference earlier on in the show.
That was good, Tommy.
Thanks, man. But I think we can expect more of the same from Tyler Perkins. I'm just not sure how much higher his ceiling goes, but that's not to say that he's not going to be a good player or a valuable piece of the team.
At minimum, I think he's going to do exactly what he did last year, which was extremely valuable. And at most, we see hopefully we see a leap. I mean, he has played in the Big East before, which none of these guys have. Thinking like none of these none of them had come from played in a Big East school before. He's gotten that feel for it. And then once again, I genuinely do like in a time of like we've transitioned to a whole new team. It's somebody who understands the program and keeps the things that like at the end of the day, like, yeah, the program is going to change and it's changing, has changed, and will continue to change. But like there's the things that everybody who's listening to this right now likes, and like the thing that feels like Villanova basketball to you, Tyler Perkins will help carry that on to some extent. It's going to change. This is going to feel different than any other team before. And I think that's like a thing we need to like understand, that like the last 20, like even though Kyle Neptune's teams were not the best teams, it was still a person who was built like who came from Jay Wright's lineage. So for the last 25 years, we've seen some semblance of Jay Wright style basketball, even though there's been like dips and valleys and kind of like some evolutions to it over time. It's been the same thing. This is Kevin Willard. This is going to be completely different. But Tyler being here at least can carry on a little bit of some of the stuff that we're hoping to keep on, that keeps going on. And then as Kevin builds whatever his Villanova basketball looks like.
Right. And he's back for a reason.
I was
right?
really happy. Yeah. I was really happy to get him back. There was really only two guys who I really wanted them to bring back from last year's roster. He was one of them. But it would be remiss if I didn't mention his like historic cold 3-point shooting streak last year that lasted like 9 games.
Yeah, that's almost a testament to him that like.
No, he shot his way out of it. Like, because it was like becoming like kind of unreasonable, because I think he just kept shooting and it was like 40-some straight. But no, I'm happy to have him back for sure. I think he'll lead even as a sophomore. I would assume. I think guys are going to look to him just because he's familiar with the campus, where stuff is. Like physical stuff like that is really. It
actually is important, yeah.
Yeah, and I think a lot of us underrate that. But right now, there's 2 guys in the locker room where can be like, hey, where can we go get a slice of pizza? Like, where's a good place to hang out? Like things like that are important, and then the continuity and just making people feel comfortable.
Yeah. All right. Next up is Devin Askew. I'm going to let Tommy start.
Yeah, I mean, to Brian's point about Tyler Perkins, it's good to have some veteran leadership on this team. I think his contributions off the floor are going to be just as impactful as his contributions on the floor. Looks like he'll be back sooner rather than later, which, will be good for our depth. Depth is definitely a good thing for this team. Willie, what are your thoughts on Devin Askew?
I'm gonna be political about this. I like Devin Askew in the way that like I think he's an extremely talented basketball player, and that's not me lying in any way, shape, or form. I think he's an extremely talented basketball player who, I mean, to be clear, like for anyone who doesn't know his history, he committed to Kentucky. While Coach Cal was there, he was a Kentucky player. He played in like 20 games for them. Like he was a valuable player for Kentucky. After that, he transferred. He went to Texas. I believe he was in Texas in the game that we played in 2021 when we went down to Austin. He was on the team at that time as well. He then transferred again. He got hurt in one season, but he got transferred to Cal. And he averaged like 15 points a game at Cal, was there for a bit. And then left Cal and then transferred to Long Beach State, where he averaged 19 points. He's averaged like 4.5 assists, 4.5 rebounds. He is extremely talented, can put the ball in the bucket very, very well. My issue with Devin Askew is he plays 8 minutes of the best basketball you will ever see, and then 32 of the most frustrating basketball you will ever watch in your entire life. And I wish I was lying. I wish I was exaggerating, but it's fascinating how hot he'll get and then how cold he'll become, but still try to keep being hot. If he matures out of that, I would love that. I would love it more. But I have my worries just because he's been in college for 6 years at this stage. Like he is who he is as a player. That's not to say it's not a valuable player. I think he's actually extremely valuable, and there are going to be games he is going to win us because he's going to get white hot, and it's going to be like, holy crap. I just don't want the games where he shoots us out of it, and I'm going to be like so extremely frustrated with him. I've just been on record basically like kind of giving him some crap, and now I have to eat my crap because he's on my favorite team. But he's like, I mean, great size. He's 6'5". He's like, I cannot like. I'm like going back and forth just because like I get how frustrated I am with him, and I'm only frustrated with him because he's so extremely talented. Like when he is on, it is truly like, oh, this kid's real good. And then you just have moments where it's not on, but the issue is that's 75% of the game. And like I'm exaggerating where it's like he's not like god awful 75% of the game, but it's like 35, and then it's kind of like neutral the rest of it. And so he's super talented. He's super experienced. He's like going to give veteran leadership. He's played in nearly 100+ college basketball games, which is huge for a team that is also young, which we're not like, they're not just new, but it's a young team. So he's played it before. He's been in Kentucky. He's seen everything. He went through a pandemic as a player. He's been hurt. Like he's gone through adversity. There's not taking anything away from that. I need him to not give me a heart attack in the middle of the second half of a game versus Butler when I'm like, why the hell did he shoot that shot? And and you're going to see that tweet, everybody. You will see that you tweet that, and I will be screaming it to the high heavens. But then he's going to hit like 6 shots in that game. I'm like, I guess that's why it happened. So that was my Devin Askew segment. I've been dreading this one, but honestly, like if he's like, the good moments are going to be really, really good. I just hope we have less of the extremely frustrating ones.
So all I'll add is "What's Poppin'" by Jack Harlow, "Savage" by Megan Thee Stallion, and "WAP" by Cardi B were 3 of the most popular songs the year he started college. So
It's a great stat.
just to kind of help everybody put themselves back in there. And then when he committed was in 2018, and I think the biggest song that year was "One Kiss" by Calvin Harris.
Yeah, and to be like, "One Kiss," that's wild. That's a fantastic song.
Great song, right?
Yeah.
It was a while ago.
Yeah. He was also like very close to committing to us. Like this is kind of like a fun, and I'm sure like maybe for him this is a journey for him too. Of like I'm pretty sure chose Kentucky like straight up over us. It was like we were like in the final 2, went to Kentucky, obviously had an entire journey, very very long journey, and now is back here. So it's clearly this is a place that he's wanted to be, which does mean something. Like that this is a place that he has wanted to go to. Yeah, I am cautiously anti-optimistic. I don't know what I want to put it. I'm like cautiously like we're gonna see how this goes. I hope that we see like more good Devin Askew than the one that makes me want to rip my hair out, and I have like very low hair anyways. So
yeah, Willie, to your point a little bit too, he averaged 19 at Long Beach State last year. He's not going to average 19 at Villanova this year, but I think that you were speaking to it a little bit with if he can find that maturity to, the 8 minutes or whatever it was that he does play well on average in a game. If we could find more neutral and less of the rip the rest of your hair out, I think that's going to come with a less amount of volume at Villanova. He's not going to have chances to score 19 points per game in the playing time that he gets at Villanova unless he's the reincarnation of Michael Jordan, for as talented as he is, At Villanova, I think with the lesser volume, that'll bode well to him kind of finding his groove a little bit on this team, being a star in his role rather than trying to be the star of the team.
I think that's a good call out. It's like what does his defined role become? Is it that, like, is it the star of the team, or what is it? Yeah.
Right.
And I go back, like, I just want to give people like a little bit of context before we move on to somebody else with here. I ended up I saw him play twice in person last year because I'm out in California. I ended up going to a game at Long Beach State, but I saw him play UC San Diego, which 12 seed in the tournament, very fun. And the way I would describe that game, it was kind of funny. Like UC San Diego kind of controlled the whole game. Basically, they were up by like 7-10 for the most part of that game. Askew was like kind of fine in the first half. Like actually wasn't bad. It was just kind of like floating and like doing stuff, whatever. And from maybe the 12-minute mark of the second half to like the 6-minute mark, Devin Askew was single-handedly keeping Long Beach State in the game and like whittling down the lead. It was like anything he wanted, he was getting. He was scoring at will. It was like very, very like breathtaking to see how good he was scoring the ball. And then he missed a shot, and then he missed another shot, and then he kept doing that, trying to get back to that moment. And that's what frustrates me the most of it, is instead of being able to be like, okay, I'm not on right now, it's I'm going to get myself on right now, which is a wild thing to say. Now that I said that out loud, but whatever. We're gonna keep rolling. But he's just trying to get himself in there. And I'd like to see, and to be fair, this is a more talented team than the 7-24 Long Beach State team from last season. So he has other players to defer to. So I think his role, to your point, Tommy, is like be a veteran leader. Like you can rebound, you can score, do all that. When you're white hot, go off. And when you're not, please defer to some of the other players on the team. All right. Well,
I'm excited for you to say this next guy's name.
Tafara Gapare.
Oh, all right. That sounds right.
So he's from Wellington, New Zealand. Gosh, that was the worst New Zealand.
Yeah, well, that, I don't know.
No one should know I do accents.
Yeah, I don't know what.
Oh, okay, so sorry to the people in New Zealand. So Tafara Gapare, he was at Maryland, also played at Georgia Tech. Good Lord, I can't believe I did that accent. He just kind of always been like, he's a very long athletic player. So like 6'9", 6'10", long limbs, athletic. He started at UMass and then went to Georgia Tech and then ended up at Maryland. Hasn't averaged very much, but like really frankly looks the part of like there's some intriguing basketball player underneath it.
Yeah, for sure. This is the guy that won the dunk contest for Villanova at Hoops Mania, right?
Yep.
Yeah, he's long. He's athletic, 6'9",
That's
like
how
you
it's
mentioned. Oh, sorry. What's the politically correct term for what they call it now? I forget.
It was just a new event. It was just a thing that they did. They had a podcast there, and then they had basketball stuff, but it's different.
It is different.
Villanova
It's not
legend.
worse Hoops Mania. It's just not.
I saw Villanova legend Jason Kelsey was at the podcast, which was pretty cool.
The pride of Cabrini.
Well, a well-known Villanova guy.
Yeah. It's Tafara Gapare. There we go. He's kind of a do-it-all guy, right? He's not going to start. He's going to come off the bench. He's going to give you some good minutes. This team's biggest weakness is going to be rebounding and defense. I think he can help in both of those fields. He's rangy, versatile on the defensive end. He just started shooting threes towards the end of his career at Maryland, and he's actually connecting a pretty good clip. So it'll be nice when he's out there. He'll be able to stretch the floor a little bit for this team. But yeah, this is another guy that's going to have to be the star in his role. Shout out Kyle Neptune.
All right, I just want to like poo-poo for a second here. In Seinfeld when George is like really confident and can like it's like giving Derek Jeter lessons, and he's like, "Oh, we just won the World Series," and he's like in 6 games. That's how I feel when we talk about Tafara Gapare being a 3-point shooter. He took 1 attempt a game. He took 1 attempt a game. Like I think there's something there, but he took 1 attempt a game, and there's kind of people being like, "He brings 3-point shooting range," and I'm like, on 1 attempt a game. Like, so let's see that increase. All that to say, I tweeted this earlier from my personal account. I'm probably going to be more in on him than like people think I am going to be. Like, I really, really think there's an intriguing basketball player there. This is more of my like long-term, like I see like the NBA potential in everybody. That's where I'm intrigued about. Like, I think he goes abroad and like there's something interesting to unlock there. I don't know if it gets unlocked this season here. He's also a senior, but there's just a lot of skill and athleticism, defensive versatility. Excuse me, that I'm excited to see just like what happens with him. I think at the very least, like we talked about Swiss Army knives, Tommy. I don't know if you were referring to him as one, but I think he's going to be like I think we can do a lot of stuff with him. And I'm talking like, if we want to press, we can put him at the top of the press. He can defend the back line and probably play center for us in small ball lineups and get us up and running. If we switch, he's going to be one of the more switchable players on the floor. He's probably going to foul a lot, which isn't great. But, you get 5 fouls, you better use them. So I'm excited to see, like, I'm excited for Tafara Gapare. Like, I really do like him, and I'm intrigued to see what he offers as a player.
Sure. He let four threes
I think
go
New Zealand.
in the UVA scrimmage.
Yeah, he did shoot 4 threes in the UVA scrimmage. What'd you say, Brian?
I like New Zealand.
It's a cool place. I've never been, but I have friends from there. So if they ever heard me do that accent, that wouldn't be great.
Do you ever mistake them for Australians? Because that's like a really serious.
It is, as much as I butchered it, there's a very clear difference between the accents.
Yeah.
Like as much as I butchered it, and I can't do it.
Can you do an Australian accent?
Yeah. Eyes of Blides.
There we go. Can you announce the next player in an Australian accent?
I can do a pretty good Australian, but I can't hit the no, the nar. I get in my own head about it. I just start going nar. A coworker and I used to speak Australian to each other all day, and then she would always ask me questions that I would have to say no to, so I'd have to stop the bit. It was good.
Yeah, I'm not going to do the accent for Malachi Palmer. Number 7, Malachi Palmer.
Damn.
So guard out of Mount Zion Prep. He Maryland transfer. Played in a few games for Maryland, like 20-ish games, 10 minutes a game-ish. He's interesting. He started off the UVA game extremely hot, and then very much cooled down. I think he started like 4 for 5, ended up like 5 for 17. So like, at least what I saw from the box score, maybe they miscounted his shots for them. When I watched, there's just like, he's really tough. He's strong. He's smooth with the ball in his hands. Like he can get to the rim. I think he's going to be a person like at the highest level for us. I think he'll be a very good, like, we need a bucket and we need somebody to like get into the lane and like get to the foul line and create something for us. I think we're going to see that from him. He's very tough shot maker. Like I really like him. I think what I need from him, I just need to see more shot making. Like, I guess like, I just want to see consistent shot making, I guess, is at the root of what I'm trying to get at here. I feel there's like a disconnect between like what I think he can do and what he's shown so far, but he's also played in 22 games for 10 minutes. So I'm like, how much is him just like not having the opportunity? And how much is like, all right, what we can really see. But there's a really skilled player there. Tommy, I know he's one of your guys. So I'll let you kind of go off here.
Definitely. Yeah, this is one of my early picks from one of my favorite players on the team. When I was talking about Swiss Army knives earlier, this is one of the guys that I was talking about. He's got good size for a guard at 6'6", and he reminds me a lot of Chris Jeffrey. But he's a tough shot maker. He can get to the rim. He can pull it back from 3. And he's an elite on-ball defender, which I think is going to be a huge asset to this team. Defense is going to be a big question mark, but this kid is on and off the ball, but specifically on the ball, he's elite. What was I going to say? Oh, the UVA scrimmage. He was our best player in that UVA scrimmage, and he did a little bit of everything. The backdoor cuts, the vision, the rebounds, a little bit of the scoring. I like what you said. He could be more efficient, but this is one of the guys that I'm really excited for this year and extremely excited for down the road.
Yeah, I mean, we have him for another like year or two. I'm really excited to see what he becomes. To your point, like he's got some shit to his game. Like there's like he's a tough shot maker, which like from like one perspective like isn't always great. But it's, you're a tough shot maker or you're a tough shot taker. That's kind of like a thing for me in basketball. Are you able to make tough shots or do you just take tough shots and make them? As of right now, I can see the mold of him being a tough shot maker, meaning like, okay, if a shot is tough, he can do that and he can hit it, but he's not going to settle for a tough shot all because he can't get anywhere else on the floor. So I'm excited for that. And honestly, like the difference between being a tough shot maker and a tough shot taker is the difference between like honorable mention All Big East and the NBA. Like that's just kind of what it is. Like even you can be a tough shot taker in college basketball and be really, really successful. But the different level is when you're able to make those tough shots at that level. So there's a lot of skill here. I'm excited to see what he kind of how he grows through this season and the seasons to come.
Sure.
All right. Oh, go ahead. All right. So we have number 14, Wade Chittick. Hey man, just keep the bench warm. bring good vibes.
Big shoes
Like,
to
that's
fill.
what-
Big
What'd you
shoes
say?
to fill. Huge
Yeah.
shoes to fill.
Huge shoes to fill. Yeah.
My guy Colin O'Toole.
Yeah.
Shout out Colin O'Toole.
Colin, yeah.
Taking his role, but yeah.
But also, like, we were just talking about the value of Tyler. Like, Wade is also that value too, of being able to be like, this is where things are, this is how things go. Like, I've been here. He's been here longer than Tyler. Like, even though he wasn't on the team the entire time, he's been at Villanova for 4 years. I don't think he transferred from like anywhere else. He came to Villanova as a student and then walked on to the team.
Right.
So like, this is like, that's important. That has like value, and like, so like, honestly, like, just like being a strong bench leader is absolutely huge. And we've seen how everybody on this program from the bench, like, we think about like the bench mob with Henry Lowe, Pat Farrell, like Kevin Rafferty, like how important they were to, like, frankly, like turning around the program. Like, obviously, like Arch and Ochefu were like huge, and like Hilliard and Javon were like absolutely like huge on the floor, but like from a like more from a morale and like intensity and like just like people vibe standpoint, that was a huge part of this. So Wade has his like role too.
Small correction. Kevin Rafferty was not part of the bench mob. He was still at Bree School then, and it was Nick McMahon.
Yes, I went a little too early. I got Nick McMahon. I missed him.
Easy thing to mix up, because the five-person senior class, you kind of group them all together.
Yep.
You know? Kevin came a little later.
As soon as you said, I was like, yeah, that was Nick. Yep. All right, Malcolm Flaggs. So Malcolm Flaggs is a transfer from Grand Canyon. Malcolm Flaggs is like best friends with Duke Brennan. Just for clear, they went to high school together. They went to Arizona State, they went to Grand Canyon, and now they're here together. Malcolm Flaggs has like some interesting skill to him. He's a good wing shooter. He is like, how do I want to describe it? Like, it's like, I think there's like a little bit of like, he could be a different, like an interesting spot shooter for us. He's going to be good defensively. He's good off the ball. He's going to like connect stuff. And I think just like, he's going to be a hustle player for us. And he's just going to like do like whatever the team needs to do for us. And he's going to be pretty disciplined, just from what I've been able to tell from everything I've been able to read about him. So I'm excited for him. I don't really expect too much. He's didn't really play in Arizona State. Didn't really play Grand Canyon. So I'm not expecting a lot of minutes from us this year. But once again, it's going to be a huge part of the cohesion. There's a reason that he's followed Duke Brennan, who we'll get to in a couple of players here.
Yeah, I have nothing else to add. I don't think he's gonna. Yeah.
All right. So the next one is Braden Pierce, redshirt freshman. He is came from Maryland as well. Braden is interesting so I don't know if anybody, like, this is just kind of like basketball, like a little background. Big men typically take longer to develop. If a big man's ready, like, to develop immediately, they usually go to the NBA. Like, it's kind of like you're either a big man and you're going straight to the NBA, or it's going to take you 3 or 4 years to develop. Like, that's really like typically what you see for most of the sides. Braden is one of those ones who's going to develop. He's got great size. He's 7 foot. He's 245, and I think he might even be like 7'1". He got to compete against Derek Queen all day, every day. He got to so he's like dealt with like other like big men, and I'm excited because I think what we have is like you have a deep bench, but like a good backup guy that we're going to be able to like see a lot from. My question is, how often does he play? As we mentioned, the depth is a benefit here, but we're looking at a situation where like he may be 10th, 9th man. I think realistically what we see happen more often is, are we facing a team with like a lot of bigs that we need to, all right, cool, Duke Brennan's in foul trouble, need to steal 5 minutes. Braden Pierce, get in here, like go rebound, go mix it up. He actually has pretty decent straight line athleticism. He doesn't have anything like side to side, but he hustles. He's going to work hard. And he's got like pretty decent touch. Like there's a world that he becomes like a stretch 5. I don't know if that's something we see in year 1 from him, but in year 1 of Villanova from him. But like I am excited for him long term. There's tools here. And I mean, he's a true 7-footer.
Yeah, for sure. And really, to your point, big men definitely do take longer to develop, but kind of taking that year to himself, his freshman year at Maryland, and getting to compete in practice every day with Derek Queen, who is in the NBA. He was a one and done at Maryland, one of the most talented big men in the country last year, and getting to practice with him every day That only helped his game, which I think could be beneficial to him this year. I'm not sure how much he is going to play. I know rebounding is going to be, I'm harping on this a little bit now, but rebounding is going to be a big question mark for this team. And Braden Pierce is a big boy. Like you said, he's all of 7 foot and he's filled out too. So he's not going to be easy to be pushed around in that paint. And for as big as he is, he does have a touch beyond the arc. I know Kevin Willard in his comments has called him a stretch 5. So that would be interesting to see him running in transition.
Yep.
But yeah, I'm not too sure how much he's going to play, but I think having him there and having that depth on the roster is going to allow Duke Brennan, guys like him and guys like Tafari Gapare to play free. Like you said earlier in the show, you got 5 fouls. You better use them because we have the guys behind you that can sub in for you.
Yep. All right. Going to move on to number 21, Nico Onyekwere. So Nico, 7'1" freshman. He's a true freshman. So this is actually like one of our only, him and Caden are the only 2 true freshmen because and Jeffrey. No, Jeffrey redshirted.
No, Jeffrey's a freshman.
No, Jeffrey's a true freshman. I keep confusing him and Lindsay. I don't know why. But he's 7'1", 240, another big man. I don't think we're going to see much from him this year. Realistically, we were just talking about big men taking a while to develop. I'm imagining we're going to go see more development. The good news is, I think as a freshman, you can play in 8 games before you. It's like whatever the percentage is before you actually redshirt. I can't remember what the number is, but
8 sounds right.
Yeah. So whatever the number is, at the very least, he should be able to get like a little bit of like clock in a blowout or anything like that, and then we'll see like, all right, like what does it really look like from him? But in year 1, I'm not really expecting much. If we see him on the floor, it's either a really good thing or a really bad thing. Either we're like really hurt or he's really good. So we'll see what it is.
Yeah, not too much more to add. He prime redshirt candidate this year, and even next year he looks to be a developmental piece. But it'll be good to get used to Willard's system and be one of his guys from day one. So that's a benefit that he can have.
So the next one we have is Duke Brennan. Duke Brennan was one of the guys at Arizona State, and also he played as a freshman there, and then also was all WAC at Grand Canyon, all defensive team at Grand Canyon. It's got great size. He's played in a bunch of games. Really, really strong rebounder. He averaged 10 and 9. Duke Brennan, I think, is just going to be like a very, very good, like strong and solid big man for us. My question and like my worry for him is he going to be able to defend at the Big East level? That's my genuine question. I know he's going to rebound. I know that he'll be able to like put some like score, but he doesn't necessarily like stretch the floor or anything like that. He's got athleticism and he's like an intense player, so he's going to be a strong presence. But my worry is just like, how does he handle the Big East? This is a different level to him. He played as a freshman in the Big 12, and then in the Pac-12. What was the timing of that? Arizona State, wherever Arizona State was. I think they were still Pac.
I think Pac-12. Yeah,
I think they were Pac-12 then. So and then Grand Canyon, which the WAC is a great conference, but like it's not the level of the Big East. So excited to see what he can bring, but that's kind of my question. Is just like, all right, how does he handle the Big East bigs? How does he handle Zuby? How does he handle Terrace and everybody like that?
Yeah, for sure. Big Duke, as nicknamed by Kevin Willard. Willard got to see him firsthand. This Maryland team knocked out Grand Canyon in the NCAA tournament this year.
Yeah, he scored like 2 points.
2 points. Yeah, 8 rebounds though.
True.
8 rebounds. So, rim protection is a big question mark for this team, and that starts with him. He was a double machine in the WAC, but this is simply not the WAC anymore. There's not too many dominant big men in the Big East this year. Terrace Reed, I think, is arguably. Zuby. Sorry,
Zuby.
Zuby's the best big man in the Big East this year. But I think Terrace Reed could be the second best. So I don't think that. I don't think he's going to be too bad.
No, I don't think he's going to be bad. I think it's just, is he going to be mid-tier of the Big East bigs, or is he going to be in the top upper tier? That's kind of where I look. But I don't think no part of me thinks he's going to be bad at all. I actually think he's going to be a very good player for us.
Yeah.
I made a face. He's a wild family.
I was reading that.
His second cousin is Colt Brennan, or may he rest in peace.
Hawaii quarterback.
Yeah,
Hawaii.
yeah. And then his everybody played somewhere. there's a whole family thing. I just saw that and I was like, wait, so yeah, sister played at Utah Valley, cousin at UCLA, his cousin's the head coach at UCLA or at Arizona now, Colt Brent. Wow, that's wild. That's a family right there.
Yeah, right. He's going to play a lot of minutes for this team.
Yep, he will definitely play a lot of minutes there. All right. Next up is Matthew Hodge. So Matt Hodge, another person who was on the team last year, had some academic and eligibility stuff. I'm just gonna go in and think we should have just played him. What is the NCAA gonna do? Who cares? Ineffective leadership.
They're losing everything in court, even like regular.
We should have just played him. Yeah. Also, it wouldn't have mattered. We didn't make. Were they gonna stop us from playing in the Crown? That's not NCAA anyways. So
love the Crown.
We should have just played him. But skilled forward, he's got like good 3-point range. He's got some bulk and some strength to him too. My question for Matt Hodge is just like, to what level does he shoot? I think that's going to dictate like to what level he's effective. If Hodge is like a 33% 3-point shooter, he's going to be fine for us. Like in year one, I'm talking about like down the road, I think he's going to be really great. But in year one, it's just going to be like that's where we're at. If he's able to shoot like 36, 37, 40% from three, like he's going to be an absolutely huge person to begin to stretch out the floor. He's going to like live on the floor if he's able to shoot the three. I think the way he gets on the floor the easiest is being able to becoming a knockdown 3-point shooter. And then once he's cleared to play right now, right? Like I'm not like there's still anything lingering.
No, yeah, he played in the
he's played in the stuff. Who knows anymore. So I was like, maybe those don't count. I don't know. The rules don't apply anymore to anybody. But yeah, he's really smart. He like has gotten. I mean, he's put on strength. He's been in Big East level strength, strength and conditioning for a year. So I'm excited to see more of Matt Hodge and excited for him like long term for us as well.
Yeah, Hodge was one of Willard's guys. He was recruiting him to Maryland, but he eventually ended up choosing Villanova, and could have been a blessing in disguise that he sat out last year. And it certainly would have been nice to have him on that team. Lord knows we could have used him, but yeah, I mean, this kid's a great shooter. He's a good passer. He's smart, especially for how young he is. These next two guys that we're talking about are two of the best 5 freshmen in the Big East, the entire Big East this year. They both of them could win Big East Freshman of the Year. Braylon Mullins at UConn as well, and he's going to be out for 6 weeks. But this isn't a UConn podcast, so I'm really excited about Matt Hodge. He's another one of my guys this year. I do think he's going to be one of the key contributors for this team.
Agreed. All right, and so the last player, the one that I think everybody's excited about and intrigued about, number 55, Akaden Lewis. Akaden Lewis is like the first thing I think about his game is smooth. So he was committed to Kentucky, decommitted, but once again, that just gives you the level of player that he is. He committed to Kentucky. That's where he was at. I listened to a couple of podcasts that they talk about Kentucky like basketball, and like they were excited about him. Decommitted after everything what happened with Kentucky. But he's really, really good. He's smooth. He's going to like run the offense for us alongside Askew, alongside Lindsey and pinches, alongside Jeffrey and pinches. We have a lot of people that can run there. If I'm going to just start like at a high level, if Lewis is like the truth, there might be a lot more to this team than we think. If he's able to be like a really, really good point guard, it's like I don't want to put the pressure of like this team goes as far as he goes because I don't know, and because I just don't know if I agree with that. But I do know that like I don't know if I agree with that from like a bottom standpoint. Like he can be average and we can still be pretty decent, like or pretty good. But if he's great, I think we have there's a lot more leeway here. He is just a true point guard, great 3-point shooter. He plays at his own pace, which is like a thing I always talk about when I'm like watching players and scouting. Like, do you get sped up or do you not? And like I feel like he is walking at all time when he's on the courts. He's like whether or not he's actually running, it's like I'm moving at my own pace. It doesn't really matter what you do to me. He's very like he has quick hands defensively. I do have worries about him getting like about his strength on the ball on ball defense. Like I do like he's frail, he's thin, he's like 6'2", 180, like he's like, and honestly he's probably like 170. So I have worries about him getting like overpowered, but he's like high IQ, he's smart. I'm excited for him. He has great like court vision. He's gonna make I'm expecting him to start day one, and he's gonna make a big impact for us from the very beginning. Caden Lewis is definitely a really, really exciting player that we have. Oh
yeah, for sure. He's my pick for Big East Freshman of the Year in the preseason, and it's extremely unfortunate what happened with Devin Askew's injury, and you never want to see that. But to Caden Lewis's credit, I mean, he might have taken that job, to begin with. He is. I watched a lot of Caden Lewis film from his high school, from his summer workouts, from the summer AAU circuits that he's been in. He's an elite passer. He's an elite ball handler, a real true point guard. He can shoot it when he has to. He can finish it when he has to. And even off the court, he's a really good leader, especially at such a young age. You kind of saw in these games, his teammates kind of gravitated towards him and looked at what he was doing. And I thought that was really special. You don't see that with everybody. And you mentioned it. He was a Kentucky commit. And so for him to get looked over on that roster, that was in my opinion, a big mistake by Kentucky, and one of the best late gets in the entire portal season was Caden Lewis coming to Villanova. We're really lucky to have him this year. Hopefully he's back the year after, maybe the year after that. But it's going to be a fun year with him. I couldn't be higher.
And just like to your point, because like I think you're kind of alluding to like, oh, like maybe there's a chance he goes to the NBA after year one. Like if he has a really great season, he's like an interesting player because I think he's right on the verge of that. Like if with a great year, I was like, yeah, I could see it happening. With a decent year, I'm like, hey, maybe you come back for another year and then leave after year two. Like who knows where he's going to be at? But there's a lot of skill here. I think the big difference with him and like, I mean, I guess it's gonna sound silly, but like he's not this player, but like. Because like Mark Armstrong was a great like point guard who came in for us, but like wasn't the passer. Not that he's not a good passer, but just like Mark Armstrong wasn't a passer like that. Quinterly, like which people forget, JQ. I kind of forgot he was on this team for a second. Was like a very good passer, but like wasn't a like. I feel like Quinterly passed for flash and like less for like
creator.
Yeah, he wasn't thinking. That's actually a good way of putting it. Yeah,
yeah.
It's a great passer, but he wasn't a good creator for others. And Lewis, I think, creates for others, creates openings for players. So I'm excited to see what that looks like. He might come to get in a couple of games like, oh, this is moving way too fast. I need to like take some time, but like he's got a good head on his shoulders. I think defensively, I'm like that's where I'm at. I think defensively is like kind of like my one thing. And then we're just gonna see what happens. Like, I mean, I think it was the VCU game where he did like absolutely just like batshit. It was towards the end of the first half, but a batshit insane, like going behind his back twice and just like chucking the ball down court to Tyler Perkins, who missed the jumper. It was wild to make that decision, but the pass was on the money.
The crazy thing is that's his signature move too.
Yeah,
like he does that, that underhand chuck, and it connects at an alarming rate.
So we're gonna see a little bit of that. But yeah, I'm excited for him. And then also like went to Sidwell. We've had good success with kids from Sidwell between Josh Hart and Sadiq Bey. This is number 3.
I was going to list some notable alumni from Sidwell, but just unrelated. There's also Bill Nye and Nancy Reagan also went there. So
Nancy
and Julie Nixon Eisenhower, who does live on the main line, is a descendant of Nixon and Eisenhower, which I always thought was kind of cool that those families get together.
I'm also pretty sure the Obama daughters.
So they did go there, but I don't think they graduated from there. I don't know why though. That's like I'm saying it, and if I'm wrong, sure. Yeah.
So you know the Obama girls, big high school dropouts.
Well, remember the one girl like was at that tailgate and the school was crazy. I was
she was
American. I was like, this is outrageous.
Yeah, she's being a college student. What is she doing?
Stuff.
Okay. So that's the roster. That is who the hell these players are. Who are they going to play? We're going to just kind of run through the first couple of games, talk through these, and then we'll kind of wrap it up here. So looking at the schedule, we start off with like realistically like if we're thinking about this, so we've had our 2 scrimmages. We played VCU and Virginia, split those. Once again, more about just seeing the team. We start our first game Monday night, 9:30 Eastern, versus Brigham Young University, BYU, in Las Vegas. BYU is the number 8 team in the country right now. They have, for all intents and purposes, the number 1 player in the NBA draft next year, and AJ DeBansta. There's, maybe it's going to be Cam Boozer, maybe whoever it's going to be, but regardless, they have a person that the NBA players like they're going to be seeing. We're going to be on a national stage. Not that it's Villanova. We're great. Like, we're a great historical program, so like it doesn't really matter. But like every eye in college basketball, every scouting eye is probably going to be on this game to begin with, to see AJ DeBansta. So this is a great opportunity for the program. Like, if we come out and get knock them in the mouth, like that's a good message for the program to begin like the season underneath Kevin Willard. They also have BYU also has a couple really good players. Rob Wright, who was at Baylor, Philly kid, just really, really good. And then they got a wing, Richie Saunders, who's been at BYU for his whole career. An absolute, just like, can put the ball in the bucket, like he's a real 3-point shooter. They have a lot of skill. Like BYU has a real national title. Hopes that they're really looking for.
This draft class is stacked. I was just looking at some of the guys. Cam Boozer, who had 25 points, 23 rebounds, and Duke's last scrimmage. Darren,
crazy.
Yeah. Darren Peterson, Caleb Wilson, and AJ DeBansta, who was the number 1 recruit in the country, pairing up with Rob Wright. This is going to be a tough game for Villanova, their first game of the year. Villanova has the hardest strength of schedule in the entire Big East for the non-conference, which is crazy. No other word than crazy. And Kevin Willard, year 1. Ken Palm's predicting a 15-point win for BYU. I think how this game looks is going to be a lot more important than the final result. In this one, we're going to see what we have in some of these young guys. And everybody for Villanova, they've been through their trials and trips all through the offseason. They've been banged up this offseason, and we still have guys banged up. Stanford, Askew are still banged up. It's going to be tough, a tough first game. The good news is after that, they have a bunch of teams that are outside of the top 100, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 games in a row after that, the top 100 in Ken Palm's ranking. So they'll have some time to get their footing underneath them. But BYU is going to be a good test before they get thrown back into the fire later on in the non-con schedule.
Yep. The thing I'm looking forward to besides the BYU game, I'm glad that we're going to play Old Dominion for Matt Hodge. His dad's on the staff there. His brother committed, but he's playing next year at Old Dominion. It's not this season. So just that's one of those ones that's we did that for the player. That's cool. The BYU game, first off, I'm taking us. If the spread's 15, I'm taking us. We're going to win.
Spread's 9. So I was going to say, how often, and I don't know Ken Palm stuff, how often does that differ? Like, is that a big gap from the spread? And obviously Ken Palm's hard. There's no data for this year. So it's all
towards the end of the year, it's usually pretty accurate, but it was at 10. So there's some money coming in on the Nova side.
What is Vegas now? I'll tell you what Vegas doesn't know. So we're not going to be in Vegas. I don't know why I was going to start off like we're going to be in Vegas. We're not. I thought about going.
About it, but then it was not a weekend.
It's a Monday night, which is pretty tough. Yeah. Monday night in Vegas. Can't say that's a big thing for us. But yeah. Okay. Well, I think that's everything we wanted to talk about today. I think we hit a little bit on the staff, a little bit of the schedule. If you're going to be in Vegas, go check out Chauncey Billups' poker tournament. Really great odds and make a lot of money there.
X-ray tables.
Yeah, X-ray tables. Real Ocean's 11 type stuff. 21. What's his name? The bad dude, Kevin Spacey. Real counting cards type vibes. I know that's blackjack, not poker, but same difference.
Still cheating.
Yeah, still cheating.
And do we want to talk about our not set in stone plan for the season?
Yeah. So as I alluded to in the beginning, everyone's kind of got life going on. So we're still going to be doing stuff. It's just going to be on a different cadence. I think last year you would hear us every Monday night, basically, and then maybe Sunday nights. We're probably not going to be on for like the next week after the BYU game, and then we're going to come back. We're figuring that out. There's just a lot of stuff that's moving around, so stay with us. But we will be here this season. We will be rotating in people, so it's going to be a fun little game of musical chairs with everybody. Yeah, I mean, I'm excited for this. Oh, also, yeah, we don't have a sponsor anymore. So if you want to be a sponsor, just like hit us up at Full40 Nova. I can't remember our email.com or just on Twitter.
Twitter.
Maybe it's Twitter is probably easier because I'll see that quicker. But yeah, we are looking for sponsors this season. And yeah, there's a lot of good stuff coming down the pipeline. Just got to get stuff organized. Life be life, and sometimes. Tommy, anything you want to sign off on? Anything that you're going to be on in the next couple of weeks or anything like that?
No, just really excited for the season start. Can't believe it's coming up next Monday. It's gonna be awesome.
Right.
Looking forward to it.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you all for listening in. I'm so glad to be back. The cats are back. I'm brought back in. I was out all summer and now I'm brought back in, which is just how it works. I don't think about them during the summer, and then it happens and I'm like, damn, here I am. They're making me believe. All right, cool. Well, thanks everybody. And as always, let's go Nova.
Yes! Yes! Wow!